All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Tuesday morning. Welcome aboard our primary live trade brief. Let's go ahead and throttle up and get airborne. Wow, JP Morgan knocked it out of the park. So we're going to talk about JP Morgan here in a little bit. Quick reminder, next week we're going to do a free week of full throttle to talk about the second half of the year that I predicted. We're going to see a rip your face off rally. We're going to talk about the inflation numbers this morning. It really depends on your strategic point of view, how to look at those inflation numbers this morning. They came in hot. They were in line. It was a little bit of a miss if you look at core. Doesn't matter. It depends on your slant, how to interpret the inflation numbers this morning. But we're going to talk about what the Treasury Secretary said this morning about, we're going to appoint a new Fed chief here pretty soon and some other comments. So market's going to like it. I think we're going to have a rip your face off rally for the second half of the year. We're already in it, and it's just going to keep on going. Quick reminder, get your Maverick Mind. I still need testimonials, case studies from a lot of you folks who swear by them. So please get in there and get your Maverick Mind on, and obviously get your merch. And if you get some merch like Patrick did, please post it on social media and tag the foundation so we can put the ladder down. And if you're a female and you're looking to join a healing retreat, Susie said, hey, we can open up. We filled up with veterans and first responders. Let's open it up to civilians. So if you're a female civilian, we actually have a beautiful retreat center down here in South Florida. One of your fellow TGO members owns and operates it. Norm is an incredible human being. Some of you have met Norm at our Christmas party or in the past. He's an investor in the REIT, good buddies with Cody, Daniel, and I. He's a great guy. You should see this place in Fort Pierce. 4 acres, a pool, beautiful house, and I call it a barn, but it's a massive building out in the woods that he reconverted for yoga, ceremony, and all sorts of stuff like that. So if you know, any female veteran first responders or family members, have them reach out. But if you're a civilian, or if you know a civilian female who's interested in sitting with the medicine, it's August 8th through 10. You can shoot me an email, a DM, or anything along those lines to reserve your slot. Okay, here we go. Not happy with Trump in a lot of areas right now. I mean, the Epstein thing. Now they're back to, the FBI's on it. We're going to release some stuff soon. 2 days ago, he said it was a Democrat. It was an Obama-Biden psyop. What do you? The guy's dead. Why are we even talking about this? Now the FBI has swung back to, and the DOJ has swung back to. Oh, okay, we're going to get some stuff out. That's a train wreck. It's an embarrassment. Anyway, this is awful. I read a bunch of reports last night and this morning that on the phone call with Zelensky, he's like, hey, can you reach Moscow? Can you strike deeper into Russia? I voted for the guy for no more foreign wars or endless entanglements. And here we are. Not happy with it at all. Stop killing. Stop killing. Stop killing each other. If you can't see by now that we are all the same cosmic stardust. Let there be light. There was nothing. Even if you don't believe in a God, a universe, or anything, there was nothing. Even just about every scientist on the planet agrees there was nothing, and out of nothing came all of this. We all came from the same thing, man. Maybe you should go on a medicine retreat so you can see that we are all one. Flags, borders, you need a border, I get it, but wars are not the answer. But I didn't vote for this. Anyway, be bullish on the defense stocks. We're out of weapons. Pete Hegseth actually did his job, so did Raising Cane, my buddy, by saying, hey, we're kind of bingo weapons right now, Mr. President. We're going to pause some shipments until we make sure we got enough. No, I had a call with Vlad, and he's pulling my chain. Now I'm going to bomb him. Okay, man, what are we doing? It's great for my portfolio and our long-term bullish positions, but it's horrible for humanity and the world. I can't stand this. Fort Pierce. It's in Fort Pierce. And yeah, well, let me remind everybody, folks. You can do these sacraments anywhere. Last time I checked, I must have a really old copy of the Constitution. Uncle Sam cannot tell me how to practice my religion. Many of you who followed my journey know I've never been more spiritual in my life. I lost my faith for decades. Childhood sexual abuse, some other abuse, a sister lost to a drunk driver, military trauma, drugs, alcohol, spiral in the drain. It healed me and restored. I don't have faith anymore. I had experience. Last time I checked, the DEA, Governor DeSantis, nobody can tell me how to practice my religion. Right? Unless you're doing human sacrifices or something, right? Some church recently in Seattle got approved by the DEA to be able to use ayahuasca in ceremony. Wait, say that again, but slowly. The DEA approved the church? Wrong. Benjamin, get my musket. I'll see at the Supreme Court. Real quick, I sent out an alert about 15 minutes ago, S&P 500 bull put spread for the day. I figured we'd fade that gap up at the open and turn at 62.75. Okay, so that's exactly what I think we're going to do. Bounce on 62.75 here. Hold on, let me drop a couple more lines in. 6,300 on the S&P 500, folks. 6,300. Anyway, so back to the retreat. Yeah, it's in Fort Pierce. You can fly into closest airport is West Palm. I guess Daytona. Well, yeah, Daytona would be north of it. West Palm Beach is south of it. Fort Lauderdale is obviously further south of it. So we'll be doing guys retreats too. So that'll be coming up. But Susie and her team are really stepping up and doing some good work. Very proud of my bride. She did healing with the medicine, mainly caused by me. We've just never been a better couple, parents, or humans, and she's really stepped into this role. I'm so proud of that woman. All right, so anyway, Trump's failing, but it's good for Raytheon. Wall Street Journal the other day, Trump isn't rebuilding the U.S. military. Whoa. That's the Wall Street Journal. But folks, the Wall Street Journal feeds the MIC, military-industrial complex. So, yeah, true, Paul. Melbourne is a smaller airport. A lot of direct flights into Palm Beach, but Melbourne, absolutely. Good point. So shots fired, shockingly, from the Wall Street Journal at the Trump administration, but that's what they do. We're out of weapons. The defense budget really doesn't address that, and Trump's getting us into deeper war in Europe. Not happy, not good. All right, here we go. We'll get to the inflation numbers in a second. Inflation quickens to 2.7. Okay, well, we're going to debrief that. We're going to debrief JP Morgan here, but here's what I want to talk about right now. And great call. Listen to the call this morning. I love Jamie Dimon. Bessent says formal process to pick Fed chair is starting. There's a formal process that's already starting. Wow. Chairman Powell, as of that, you are a lame duck. Bye-bye. Well, hold on, Wiz. His term runs until May. And then technically he can sit on the next May. He can technically sit on the board of governors until 28, I think it is. And that would be tacky. But Bessent, in this interview, he's good. The way he talks, he's the perfect Treasury Secretary. Janet Yellen was a joke, an embarrassment. Ben Bernanke, right? Those who can't teach or are Fed chiefs. This guy, hedge fund, comes from Wall Street. That's why Jamie Dimon, I think Bessent should go to the Fed and Jamie Dimon should be the Treasury. He's on his way out of JP Morgan anyway. They've been prepping the battlefield. It's not going to be a shock. The last investor thing, he actually said that. They're having fun with it, picking his successor. Kind of like Berkshire. Oh my God, if Warren Buffett steps down, the place will cease operating. Are you that stupid? We looked at this at Chipotle. The Chipotle employees woke up one day and the CEO was gone to Starbucks for $113 million and a private jet that he can commute to work because he didn't have to come to the office. Nice negotiations. Did Chipotle cease operations that day? Did they close the doors? Right? No. So JP Morgan or Jamie Dimon, if he went, to Treasury, this place would rock. Anyway, now he's a lame duck. Okay, so we'll that's my choice, and Trump would absolutely love something like that. Here we go. Inflation hit 2.7% in June. And again, I'm going to show you the different slants of all the takes this morning. That's why you saw the market gap up and fade. I should have shot a bearish sniper, but I was on the JP Morgan foot. This was easy, folks. You should have, I should have, but you should have. And remember, folks, I'll talk about this when I get tactical, but you should be learning from these snipers. I love seeing posts when people are like, aha, Wiz, I was a minute before you. I kind of getting this. If you're just sitting there with your mouth open, folks, wanting trades, you're doing it wrong. Because that 4-minute trade yesterday, some people are like, I couldn't have gotten it that quick. I'm like, first of all, I post what I'm doing, so I post it. What do you want me not to post it? You should be learning. You should look back at what happened yesterday and go, oh, that's what he was saying. And by the way, because some people are like, I wasn't going to chase it. Guess what happened yesterday? There was no chasing it. You could have added a bull put spread at any time yesterday, and it would have expired at a max profit. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when I get tactical. But anyway, there's we opened up, right? The futures liked the inflation data. And then it's not going to like it because technically it went up. And then now you're seeing the recovery. So that's why I shot the bull put spread down here. I was a little early. I probably should have waited for it to bounce off of 75, but I'm okay with the trade that I have on. So let's dig into this. And this was Nick does a great job with this. So let's read this together. This could be a choose your own narrative CPI report. Here we go. Easy for me to say. Core prices rose 0.23%, which just happens to be the median month-over-month rise in core prices over what? The past 12 months. Meaning 6 months were above and 6 months were below. Does everybody get the definition of median? Did you take statistics in college? This is ever so slightly on what? The soft side of what was expected by some forecasters. But the bottom line is that most of these forecasters expected what? We're going to die from inflation. These tariffs, Trump doesn't know what he's doing. The market's imploding. Inflation. What? They all were frothing at the mouth that we would see horrific inflation in July and August. And goods prices were firmer in June. If you think the worst of the tariff-driven price hikes is still ahead, then this report doesn't change your underlying view, right? So the reason we got a knee-jerk pullback is what? Oh, there's no way there's going to be a cut on July 30th. There wasn't going to be a cut on July 30th anyway, folks. What are you new? Have you not listened to Jerome Powell? We'll be lucky to get a September. We'll probably get a December. Should get a September. Don't make me go on my pre-election rant. Dude, you just cut 50 basis points as inflation was going up 5 months in a row with strong jobs. What do we have right now? Inflation ticking up slightly with strong jobs. We're not doing anything. That's because you're a raging partisan. And if you thought inflation was going to take longer to pass through and pack less punch because companies are trying to preserve market share in an economy with less demand, then this report doesn't change this view. That is the best take I've seen this morning. This, ladies and gentlemen, is porridge. Okay? And it's almost like I do this for a living. Look at the S&P 500. There's a nice little bounce right off of the 2075. So here's what's funny is, and this Zero Hedge does I think I closed that one. That's right. So anyway, inflation, it depends on your point of view. Good, bad, medium. So, and that's what you're seeing in the market. This is literally the market digesting the CPI this morning. Good, bad, medium. And I'm going to repeat what I said yesterday, and I've been saying a lot lately. Barring something horrific, war in Taiwan, nuke strike in Ukraine by Russia, another China virus. And I'm not even talking economically. Economically, things are known. Did you see the sniper yesterday morning? Trump over the weekend, or was it Friday? He does stuff after market close. He doesn't do it in the middle of the trading day like that. I'm going to hit China, not China. Canada, Mexico, more tariffs, bigger tariffs, Canada, Mexico. Sunday night, the futures open. I'm sitting on the couch laughing. I'm like, of course the futures are going to get down. I showed you the tweet that I posted Sunday night. I'm like, market's going to get gap down at the open and then buy the dip. What did I do? Market got down at the open. I bought the dip with a sniper, 50% profit, $1,000 out. If you held it the entire day with 15 contracts, you made $2,100 in a day. If you did the trade as I did, I'll take 50% in 4 minutes. But looking at this chart, folks, I don't think we keep going up. Does anybody see a trend with the S&P 500 at the 20-day? Anybody? Oh, no, it's going to keep. You can believe that. It's not. We, at some point, are going to come back and do this. It's a thing. I've been doing this for over 3 decades, folks. It's a thing. Okay? Now, if we get some sort of Trump, I talked to Mexico, Canada, trade deals, NG, everybody's happy. Yeah, we can rip. But just looking at the S&P 500, it's an inchworm on the way up. This would have been a great excuse to have a little bit more of a sell-off if the market wanted to, but we're hanging. All right, here we go. JP Morgan. Beat. Great phone call. If you're bored, before our trade briefs, jump on and listen to these earnings. Listen to Jamie Dimon. He can spin a yarn, man. JP Morgan beats top and bottom line on what? What JP Morgan does. Old school investment banking and trading results. Now we can dig into the other stuff that sucked, but the stuff that sucked, they shouldn't be doing anyway, and they suck at, and they might be ditching, which is interesting. Okay, so you ready for this? Beat. One little miss in here. So somebody, as soon as I started the brief, said, "Hey, JP Morgan's down." Duh. It's a thing. Have we ever heard of something called buy the rumor, sell the news? Of course, I expect JP Morgan to be down right now. And then do what? Rip. These were solid numbers. And look at the chart, because the market's trying to figure out, it gapped up on blowout earnings and it went down, and now this is your smack in the face. This is trading in here, folks. This is not investing. Let the dust settle from the earnings. The earnings were disgusting. JP Morgan is a Death Star in the financial space. I love reading the words investment banking and trading. I don't care about their stupid credit card and other crap that might be brown. Either gut it or get rid of it. But this was awesome. And again, folks, and Zero Hedge does the best job of digging. This is way too much. You can sit here and read all of it, but don't. Wall Street Journal does a better job. JP Morgan earnings show economy and Wall Street are still chugging along. Jamie Dimon says what? The U.S. economy is resilient. Huh. Well, I thought back here we're all going to die. Trump's going to kill us, Liberation Day, cats and dogs living together. Boing. This was an extremely bullish earnings call out of JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon. Of course, the stock's going to be down because it's selling the news. Did you not see my analyst? I walked over to the research desk, which is the ChatGPT tab, did the Amazon Prime Days thing, and got it. And it said it tends to sell the news. It tends to run up in. Where's Tim? Tim, are you in here? Who on their phone had buy financials ? Like I told you yesterday in Solo Amazon, every TGO member should have an October 1st calendar reminder that says what? Buy Amazon question mark. Why a question mark? Because I'm old enough to remember in 2018, Jerome Powell, October 4th, saying, I think we need to raise rates. And the market went down over, the S&P went down over 20% into Christmas, 3-month bear market. Didn't buy Amazon that year. There was no Santa Claus rally. The S&P 500 imploded. Do you remember? I do. That's why I say buy Amazon question mark. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen. You should put buy financials question mark in your phone 4 times throughout the year. When? About 2 to 3 weeks before financial earnings. It's a thing. Financials tend to rise before the report, and then what do they try to do? Or not try to do? They sell the news, right? So, okay. Dennis, Wiz, the D30 SPX. I love it, man. 569%, Dennis. I love the Merica trade. JP Diamond, better than expected, benefiting from volatile markets and a steady U.S. economy despite threats of a global trade war. So, folks, kind of like I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I have to remind you, we are closer to rate cuts than further away. We are closer to trade wars being over than them starting. Does this make sense? So if you're Jerome Powell, you're still sitting on your hands going, imaginary inflation boogeyman is coming. The report today confirms the boogeyman is coming. Okay, dude, you got your little bit of a hot inflation report. Again, what did you do in front of the election? With 5 months of increasing inflation. And the Fed historically not doing anything right in front of the election because we don't want to look partisan. So, ladies and gentlemen, despite threats of a global trade war, we are closer to peace than a global trade war. And you guys know, man, I have no filter, so I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what's going on with the trade wars. Well, the deadline was today, but we're sending out letters that the deadline's August 9th. I thought you said it was today. No, these are letters, though. They're deals. Okay, I'm lost, dude. I have no idea what's going on. So, where's the good stuff? There's some good stuff in here. This, big banks trading desks, I love that, have raked in profits this year as investors scrambled to position themselves. I love this. Consumer health. I don't like their consumer stuff. It's fine. I mean, their consumer spending on their cards rose 7%. Okay. That's not too shabby. There was something. What did I want to read? It was down here. Economy is resilient. Tax reform. Here it is. The finalization of tax reform and potential deregulation are positive for the economic outlook. He always hedges, though. However, significant risks persist, including tariffs and trade uncertainty, worsening geopolitical conditions, high fiscal deficits, and this is his standard. I would have said this too. Duh. He's hedging here. Bullish, bullish, bullish. However, I'm going to throw all this stuff out there. He's right. Geopolitical conditions. We just attacked Iran. People don't even remember that. High fiscal deficits. We've been broke for 30 years and we're going more broke. Elevated asset prices. Yeah, welcome. Elevated asset prices. Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen, Ben Bernanke they've run out of ink. They're keeping Staples and Office Depot in business by printing money out of thin air. That is high treason. Don't get me started. Jamie Dimon says private credit is dangerous, and he wants JP Morgan to get in on it. I love Jamie Dimon because he's like me with Bitcoin. I think it's pixie dust. It's a Ponzi scheme. I'm going to trade in it. I used to do that years ago, trading whatever that Bitcoin crap was. I like the underlying, folks. I like blockchain. I like the chips. I like the power required. But I think it's stupid. Well, Wiz, you're making money in it. Duh. Folks, if I could make money with pet rocks, I'd do it. right? I mean, so this is funny seeing this type of headline. Bank puts, this is a risk. Bank puts 50 billion toward lending to riskier companies to compete with non-banks. Ah, okay. Talked about this yesterday. If you're not in solo Amazon, check this out. Why am I also bullish right now? A staggering, I haven't seen that word recently, staggering 7.4% trillion is now sitting in money market funds, a new all-time high. There has never been more money sitting on the sidelines in this country ever. And you can see that a lot of people listen to Wiz and Top Gun options because they kept their powder dry, or some of it, and bought this bottom here. There's a lot more of that sitting there right now. I love that. That is awesome. I've been briefing this. CEOs who lied to you for the past 10 years, shockingly, said AI is going to help. It's just going to be awesome. Anybody who's been saying that, folks, is on top of the line. Bill Gates, an Epstein client. Bill Gates, I think AI is going to be great for everybody. It'll help jobs and help society. Elon Musk at the same time. It's going to kill all of us, and we should stop. Who do you listen to? I know who I listen to. Now the CEOs are starting to admit the white collar jobs. Folks, the people that worked on our research desk in Chicago, they made a shit pot of money. Some of the bonuses we'd pay, some of the research analysts were more than most people would see in a lifetime. They're gone. My old firm has a whole division. I did some research last night on AI. They have an AI trading wing of their firm. I just showed you using ChatGPT yesterday how I got a professional briefing that used to take an hour or two in seconds. Wall Street white collar jobs will be gone. Remember, the definition of a recession is when, your neighbor loses their job, and a depression is when you lose yours. Okay. Look at this. Mark Zuckerberg has just announced that Facebook, I will never say Meta, except for that, will be spending hundreds of billions of dollars to build massive GPU compute clusters. We're building several of them. You see the new Pittsburgh today is going to be a massive hub. We have Arrow. She's in the nuke industry. We're calling the first one Prometheus. Didn't you see the Alien movie, Prometheus? It doesn't turn out well for humans. Coming online in 26. We're also building Hyperion, which will be able to scale up to 5 gigawatts. I feel like I'm in Back to the Future. We're building more multiple Titan clusters as well. Just one of these covers a significant part of the footprint of Manhattan. Around the turn of the century, and I mean this one, not the 19th hundreds, there was a movie called The Matrix. Do you remember their power centers? It was humans. I'll be long gone by the time the AIs listen to this brief and hunt down to try and kill me. Maybe my sons or daughter will turn into John Connor and build a time machine to go fight for everybody. And guess what? AI is going to help work and CEOs above the line because you're going to have to do more work. I'd walk over to the research desk right now if there's anybody left and go, I just printed out this report on Amazon for the rest of the year in 0.01 seconds. Now I need you to do these 8 million other things instead. That's going to suck. So one more time, folks, I'm going to remind you that things are not good in AIville. Trade your NVIDIA, do everything. Amazon's building their own chips that'll put NVIDIA out of business, I'm pretty damn sure, but it's going to be bad. We'll talk about all the healing stuff tomorrow in AR. I just love these headlines, man. Psychedelics may slow aging at the cellular level. I've never felt better in my life, and I'm older. All right, here we go. Any questions before we get tactical? Last week, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about synthetic stock on JP Morgan. And I think it was up at the 290 strike. I already have existing synthetic stock, but synthetic stock, JP Morgan, anybody have any questions on that? And we talked about it last week. I'm like, oh, should I wait for it to pull back? I don't know if it's going to pull back. If you're bullish on JP Morgan out as far as you can into the future, you do it today. So if it's underwater a little bit right now, who cares? Now we can go potentially sell some short calls against it if you think, JP, look at, I love this. Great earnings. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. This JP Morgan only moves like this now after an earnings thing, ladies and gentlemen, because this looks like the S&P 500 right now. That's trading. But if you think we're going to settle down, I mean, look at the wow. Look at an at the money call out to Friday is 315 right now. I'm gonna sell a short call against my synthetic stock. There's $2 out at 290. Wow. So folks, if you're aggressive, Wiz, it's going to sell the news the rest of the week. You would sell the 287.5 for $310. Okay. Wow. I'm not that aggressive. It's almost, we're at 287 right now. That's an at the money call. Let's go up to 290. That's $200, ladies and gentlemen. I'd say the 292.5s are a little aggressive, but I'm going to sell that one at $1.30. $130, folks. That's $5 away from here. Why is divorce expensive? It's worth it. Why are those calls expensive? We might, after the dust settles, the market decide, you know what, that's stupid. Those were blowout earnings and we're going to rip. So I'm going to sell, I'll do $1.30. I'm going to sell a single JP Morgan, 230, and I got filled immediately. So there we go. Warning, Will Robinson. Do not let JP Morgan rip and that short call go in the money without you doing something about it. Double the credit you take in. Write it down right now. 260. Not you, this is what I might do. I might eject out of that short call at 260. Okay. And I shared the aging. Oh, cool. Somebody did. Awesome. Okay. Are you, Debbie? We can talk about that tomorrow, but absolutely. So the Maverick Mind right now does not have psilocybin in it. We are 100% legal. I'm not that stupid. Plus, you have to list all your ingredients legally anyway. We actually had to take out Amanita muscaria because the FDA came out and said, if you take Amanita muscaria in really large doses, it could have a psychedelic effect. I'm like, we have a decimal point. It helps. It's not illegal, but the FDA had a little advisory against it. People got to ruin shit. Hey, if we take enough Amanita muscaria, it's a little like psilocybin. People are dumb. So we actually, it was in the night duty. We had to take it out of the night duty, which is, I might take that on my own. But yeah, we will, when, not if, praying to God. Uncle Sam, could you imagine still thinking that a microdose of psilocybin is a felony? It just shows you how powerful the drug and alcohol and tobacco lobbies are. But yes, we will be updating our product line when, not if. That's exactly right, Debbie. Imagine the hubris of man making something that God put on this planet for us to heal illegal. It's a disgrace. But if you're the Bush, and the Coors or Modelo families or tobacco farmers, you absolutely don't want any of that stuff legal. Okay. So JP Morgan, I just sold a short call. I have a long-term bullish position on it. I absolutely love it. And it is looking great. Let me group those together. I have synthetic stock at 270. So I am a little bit under. No, I'm even. No, I'm up 64% on my synthetic stock. I'm looking good. SIBO. SIBO has been printing money. Does anybody look at this? Look at a run. $200 to 240. Everybody have your synthetic SIBO stock position on? Anybody see a trend? This is when I initially recommended it. Right around the COVID scandemic, I said trading volumes are going to, I think Mitch and some other people actually have. Well, it was added new ones, but let's just say it was right around there. It was April. Where are we? Right there. It's 100 approximately. Allow me to round up. A 180% return on SIBO since I recommended it. Okay. Does anybody else need it? If not, I can maybe cover it at the end because I think everybody should have theirs on. Let me just show you the commit criteria real quick. Where's that page? There it is. A thrill-seeking trade. Where is it? There we go. Here's your commit criteria to be long-term bullish on SIBO. Look at the headline. A thrill-seeking trade. I don't like options trading being called thrill-seeking. Stock options are soaring with everyday investors wagering, I don't like that either, on market whipsaws. But here's your commit criteria, folks. Look at the chart. This was me in the board of trade. Younger and fatter. Thinking options trading was exploding. Oh, younger and fatter whiz. If you could see into the future. That's all you need to know to be long-term bullish on SIBO. Let me give you this article. Holy crap, Arthur. That is fantastic. Arthur is up 275% on his SIBO trade. Read this. Share of U.S. options activity from individual investors. I mean, look at that chart. And look at how, this is a little bit of gambling right here. 0 days to expiration, 0 DTE, right? Meaning options today. Rip your face off rally. So options trading is exploding. That's why SIBO looks the way it does. Let's go look at that chart again. I might start trading some spreads on SIBO. Oh, you know what? Since it has rolled over, finally, I need to sell I'm not going to do an at the money call. I'll sell a 237 and a half. Oh, it's $45. This would be, the aggressive. Let's go look at the chart. Wiz, it looks like it topped out at 238, and we're heading back down here. You could sell, in at the money call, the 235 would be $1.65. That's pretty aggressive, right? We're almost at 235. But if you think it's got a little bit more downside over here, sell the 235. Or the less aggressive would be the 235, 237 and a half. It's only 45 cents, 45 cents though. Okay, any questions on that one? All right, we covered JP Morgan, covered SIBO. What else do I have? We already talked about Amazon yesterday. We'll talk MindMed and Cybin tomorrow. I have Bank of America, folks. Let me look at Bank of America. Bank of America is one of my other long-term bullish positions. When do they report? Quote. Tomorrow. I'm not touching Bank of America. Let's go back to SIBO, though. I like this chart, and I think it's time for a bullish spread. I like what it's doing. It does tend to rip and pull back, though, right? Rip, pull back, rip, pull back, rip, pull back, rip, pull back, long rip, pull back. I don't know. we can't trade off the left side of the chart. I am briefing you on a trend though, but long term, and you see 227 and a half here, resistance, blew through a little bit, and then ripped through. I think resistance, once it's destroyed, becomes support. Let's go out like a week or two and maybe look at like a 227 and a half call. But like I was rambling through earlier, there's not that much. This is the problem with SIBO. Maybe I'll move on from it. Let me move my ugly mug out of the way. There's just not a lot of volume. Nah, I'm just going to sit in my synthetic stock. I've tried to trade spreads on SIBO before. There's just not a lot there. Not a lot of people running around. Isn't that funny though? It's SIBO. It trades options. It doesn't trade a lot of options, right? And even the 230, even an aggressive bull put spread out the next Friday doesn't have enough premium for me. The risk reward is 1 to 0.22. So never mind. I think I do this every once in a while. I'm like, SIBO looks prime for doing something, and then it doesn't, do anything. Oh, Raytheon, good catch. I don't have Raytheon. I have it in the model portfolio. Let me go look at the model portfolio positions. I look at personal account and model portfolio. All these phantom SPX things after they expire. $9,000. There's my America trade. 79%, $9,000. I absolutely love the America trade. What's that? 2 months? 2 months, you've made 10 grand. That's an average of 5,000 in the model portfolio. I don't know what you're doing. Can I get a hell yeah if you are happy with your America trade? Does anybody have any questions on your America trade? I've told many of you, grab a yellow sticky, put it on your screen, and forget about it. I got done watching The Sopranos for the second time last week. It's awesome. 13 grand out of Dennis. Love this. Absolutely love the America trade. I don't have Raytheon in here. What else? Oh, what's funny with the Raytheon and model portfolio? I've tried to get filled 2 or 3 times, and it just never gets filled. Let me talk Raytheon real quick, and then we'll talk America trade. If you need a new one, well, the new one's going to be the same as the old ones for the past couple months, unless I don't think SIBO's come out with I don't think we've got new options yet. We broke through 62.75. Let's see if we hold a little bit. Might have to adjust that spread, or not adjust, add a repair trade. Nope, it'll be D's 30. But let me finish up with Raytheon, and then I can do America trade for those who need it. Raytheon. Let's just double check on earnings. Next 7 days. We got a week to Raytheon earnings. All right, so wow. Why the quiet? I don't know if I'd sell any short. I mean, if you wanted to sell an aggressive call, it would be an at the money call, the 150. I don't know if I'd do that, man. It's Tuesday. There's a lot of stuff going on in the defense sector right now, and the 150 2.5s have $36 in them. That's a joke. So, any other questions on Raytheon? No. We could go. Let's just do this real quick. Go to the research desk. Give me a professional hedge fund brief on RTX earnings next week. So let's simulate Chicago. A lot younger, little chunkier. What was her name? It just flew out of my head. We actually had a lady. She wasn't a lady. She was a young girl. Even in my 40s, she was younger than me. She ran the research desk and she was brilliant. I'd walk over. God, she's on my LinkedIn. I'll look it up. Give me a professional hedge fund brief on Raytheon. All right, Wiz, I'm a little busy. I'll get it to you later today. Today, 20 years later, here we go. I hadn't even sipped my coffee yet, and I got it. All right, there's the date. There's the estimates. Last quarter, Raytheon was a beat, Despite beating, why? The stock fell. Do you remember this? It was a big gap down. I told you buy it with both hands because of a little weak forward guidance. Ladies and gentlemen, the weak forward guidance didn't reflect what? Raisin Kane, my buddy, bombing Iran. But anyway, strength in backlog. Holy crap. This was last earnings. Did you not see Donald Trump? I'm bringing more weapons, more patriots, and more everything to Ukraine. Wow. Guidance, what investors should watch? Guidance update. Will Raytheon adjust its full year earning per share guidance? Executing a backlog, margin cost efficiency, free cash flow trends, dividend outlook, and potential share backs. Forward PEs, all right, it's a little overvalued. What are the risks? Updates, geopolitical, regulatory, tariffs, supply chain pressure. Okay. Summary. I used to get this. I got this in like a Word doc. Pre-earnings positioning. Many funds set up long straddle or strangles ahead of earnings, given past volatility. Focus on upside surprise margins, accelerate backlog conversions, downside of guidance disappoints. Historically, Raytheon shares tend to drift upwards over subsequent months. Let's go final take. Guidance clarity, order backlog strength, margin cash flow dynamic. Isn't this funny? This sounds like you could just read this on the halftime lunch with the judge and sound brilliant. What's that? Isn't this funny? I'm not kidding you, folks. We would hire interns and TJ, 15 grand in your Merica trade. $15,000. I love this. Put call ratio indicates a bullish bias. Raytheon's overall put call ratio that's actually pretty good. Open interest exceed put interest. Oh, wow. Strong call volume. Over the past week, call volume has outpaced open interest. In the July 14, elevated bullish conviction. This volume over open interest phenomenon flags potential opening of new call positions, directional bets rather than hedging. That is a great sentence, folks. When you ask volume versus open interest, there's the answer. Hang on. Weekly implied move ahead of earnings is about 5%. Monthly, oh, that's interesting. Notable unusual flows detected. Large-sized block call sweeps at or above the ask. That is bullet. Folks, when you see a block of options being what? Bought, do you guys usually see how I buy options? Mid-market and I'm cheap, I walk it on up. If you want those options now, what do? You come in at the ask. This is what that's saying is like people are like, what are those? Buy them. What? Okay. Wow. What to watch this week? Play ball. Okay. Yeah. Post earnings, sell the news. What does that mean? We usually get a volatility crush. Duh. Mildly bullish skew. And then look at this. It just keeps going, folks. Usually they drop the report off or email it to me and leave. This thing doesn't let you leave. Let me know if you'd like a breakdown of open interest by strikes, real-time sweeps, or flow heat maps. Fire everybody in your trading firm. Wow. Rick, American trade up 184%. Wish I'd bought more. I love it. David, I recommended TGO to a friend who is interested. Does he have to wait to join? No, David, he can join today, man. Yeah, we have rolling enrollment. Absolutely. Just send him to the homepage if he wants to join Full Throttle and stuff like that. There's the link for next week, though. But for your buddy who wants to join, and thank you for the referral, David. David's a longtime TGO member and a great American. Just underneath trade groups here, Full Throttle. And so I look like shit in that hit from Oxford, man. I'm sitting in the lobby of the Marriott. They were undergoing construction. We didn't know it until we showed up. All right, what time is it? Uh-oh, there goes SPX. I got to keep an eye. Let's do a new America trade. So if you already have your America trade, you're cleared hot. You can leave. I'll see you tomorrow for AR. If you want a new bullish on America trade, you can stay. You can stay anyway, just because you love listening to me. I would rather get my teeth drilled. Okay, here we go. S&P 500. I don't trade SPY. I trade SPX. You should watch your options weapon school training to know why. And I will save you money, which actually technically means make you members. No, Debbie, you're automatically registered. We change out the links to join to the open link. So good question. Nope, you don't have to register. All right, so I'm going to click all strikes. Debbie's a newer member, and she is doing absolutely fantastic. So look at this, ladies and gentlemen. The farthest out in time I can go is Dece of 30, 2030. By 2030, I'm going to put on my full Nostradamus hat. By 2030, the REIT that many of you are investors in, Healing Realty Trust, has been public for a year and a half. We all were in New York City for the party, for the opening bell or the closing bell. Demerex has, I don't want this to happen, but I do want this to happen. Demerex has been acquired by Gilgamesh. And there's peace on earth. President J.D. Vance has the Ayatollah and Netanyahu at the White House for a peace ceremony. We are now doing ibogaine retreats at Norm's place up in Fort Pierce. No need to go to Mexico. No need to go to Costa Rica. 2030 is incredible. Now, I hopped in my time machine, and that's as far out as we can go on the. It wouldn't be great if all those things happen. Let's all manifest that that's exactly what happens. Okay. We are at, oh my God. The last time I did this trade, what was the S&P at? When did you guys get in? I think the original Merica trade was in April, wasn't it? We were like at 5,000. And then I did another one here, and now I'll do another one here. Does anybody see a trend? Of course you do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am at S&P. Why am I rambling about this? Because I remember it being around 5,000 because I'm like looking at the call options at 11 and 12,000 strikes going, well, it's going to be more than double. Now I can say double since we're at S&P 6,000. If you believe that in the next, 5 years, the S&P 500 is going to keep moving up and to the right, what could you do? You could go as far out in time as humanly possible and do what? And buy some call options, right? So you could buy And ladies and gentlemen, this is all us, by the way. You could buy a single 12,000 call. It's $7,000. Woo. It's a little rich for my blood, Wiz. Me too. How about we buy a single Dees of 2030, 11,000 call? Well, you're really not helping me out, Wiz. It's $14,000. No. I'm going to put a lid on it and sell the 12,000 call. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to all of your other fellow members talking about profit, because when I initially did this trade 2 months ago, what did you guys get into it at? One contract was what, like $2,400? Something like that. It's now up at 7, folks. Again, Wiz, I didn't join 2 months ago. I get it. So if you don't believe me, please go watch I just want you to go look at the prices. And you're not missing out, folks. I'm going to show you the metrics here. Where is it? Right there. Oh, wait. I'm listening to myself talk. Wait, hold on. What was that? 4? There it is right there. What's that say? Hold on. 20 men lie, trades don't. Look at this trade, ladies and gentlemen. Buying a single 11,000, selling a 12,000 was $2,300. I just wanted to confirm. I said $2,400. My memory ain't that bad. So let me share this with you. I want you to go watch this replay, man. It's only an 18-minute video. So go watch it. 24. Oh, thank you, guys. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I'm showing you that to just show you the power of profit. Now, if you're sitting here kicking yourself, don't. Let's go look at the mat. Would you invest $7,000 today? It's a lot of money, Wiz. I get it. Would you invest $7,000 today to potentially make $93,000? If the answer is no, please leave and go find something else to do. The answer should be, oh my God, hell yeah. Folks, how many times have I showed you a chart of the S&P 500 since I started trading? It moves up and to the right. Do we have pullbacks? Of course we have pullbacks. Let me show you one of them. Let's just go since the turn of the century. There's the .com pop. There's me in the board of trade going to the VIX pit when the VIX hit 90 in the financial crisis. And then that. I mean, where's the scandemic? There's the scandemic. There's Joe Biden's bear market, which the media conveniently forget. But ladies and gentlemen, let's look. Does anybody, that's the last 25 years. I have a chart somewhere from 1991 when I started investing in the S&P 500. What's it look like? That. So ladies and gentlemen, you might be sitting here going, whoa, $7,000's a lot of money. Well, it was $2,500 2 months ago. You should have done it. I'm kidding. Now that you're here, would you invest $7,000 today to potentially make $93,000? Now, if you don't want to put I don't want to put a lid on it. Trump and JD Vance are going to crush it. Then you are somebody who might be able to just go buy. Also for I didn't do this initially, but now I can say this because these are also $7,000. Here's the converse, ladies and gentlemen. You could do something like this. Buy the December 12,000 call. Wiz, I think in 5 years from now, the S&P 500 is going to double. I do too. I think it's going to be more than double, but that's just me. What could you do when, not if, the SIBO does what? comes out with a Jan 31 call options chain, you could sell that upside call and reduce your $7,000 initial investment. I'm going to pause for a second because I want that to sink in. Does everybody understand that? You could do the $7,000 trade today, the bull call spread today for $7,000, or you could just buy the calls today, the 12,000 calls for $12,000, 12,000 strike for $7,000, and wait. I don't know. You can go to the SIBO site. I don't know. I can go do it, or we can go look together. Go to the SIBO.com and see when these options are going to come out. And then you could sell that other whatever higher strike call that comes out. And you would reduce the $7,000. Does everybody understand? Catherine, I have no idea what you're doing wrong. What do you mean? If you buy, I can't see your screen. If you buy, Catherine, an 11,000 call, it's $14,000. You have to sell the upstrike call and click mid-market. Maybe you were coming in at the ask or something like that. I don't know what you're doing. This is the bull call spread on your screen. I'll take a screenshot for you. Does anybody have a question? So you have two choices today. Do the bull call spread for $7,000, or buy the 12,000 strike call for $7,000 and wait for the new option series to come out to leg into a bull call spread. I love that. I love both of those things. I love both of these things. Now I'm going to do what I did real quickly the last time. And I'm going to show you how powerful this is if you do more than one contract. Some of you with $7,000 is a lot of money for me right now. But folks, and I think I did this originally in AR. This is a retirement trade. This is a saving for college. Would you invest $7,000 today to make $100,000, I'll round up, years into the future? This is why I call this a Warren Buffett trade. This is a bullish on America trade. If you think we're all going to die in Iran and COVID, or if you're looking out into the future and it's absolute horror, don't do this trade. I told you yesterday, I am predicting that Trump, the Republicans, will lose the midterms. There will be impeachment things. Elon Musk will get dragged in with subpoenas. It will be a shit show. I didn't say it's going to be a straight line. If I had my meltdown chart of, maybe it's in here. It's not a straight line, folks. We will have a bear market or two in between now and then. Here it is. Here, I found it. Ladies and gentlemen, a young Edward Matthew Buckley got commissioned from Jacksonville University and went down to Naval Air Station Key West in 1991 and started investing. Look at this chart. Does anybody see a trend in the S&P 500? And by the way, before 2008, right here, this was not Uncle Sam being involved in capitalism. In 2008, the global financial crisis that was caused by who? Bankers and Wall Street, and nobody went to jail. Ben Bernanke George Bush initially jumped in to save capitalism. Should have never happened. It's in the past, Wiz. What I'm getting at is the market was even going up without government intervention. Now, my God, stocks go down. Bill Ackman gets on CNBC and cries. COVID. We need to shut markets down. No, you don't, Bill. I got puts on the S&P 500. I made $750,000 on a single S&P 500 put trade. Days after Trump, he said it on a Friday. Stocks are looking good here. I'd be a buyer of stocks. The S&P 500 opened, the Dow opened down 3,000 that day. I forget the S&P. Minutes. The smart money was crying to shut markets down. Not TGO members. $2.5 million in profitable trades in about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Here's what I'm getting at. Let's go back if it's super retirement trade, let's go look. Wiz, I love it. Maybe you do too, and check out how that changes things. Would you invest $14,000 today to potentially make $186,000? I think I showed back in the, keep going up, man. Wiz, I'm going to take 20% of my 100 grand model portfolio and do this trade. $20,000 investment today could potentially yield almost over $250,000. Okay. So it's up to you. This is a tick moment, trader in command. Okay. So, oh man, there's a ton of questions. Let me scroll up here. Are the bull put spreads premiums on SPX Sleep still too small to trade? Nope. Terry, as you can see, just about every other existing TGO member has a Merica trade on, a bullish on a Merica trade. So, folks, and maybe I'll answer it like this. So, remember, folks, you're not going to get filled at 68.80. You're never going to get filled at the bid. This is a debit spread. Remember, with debit spreads, you have to walk the trade on up. If you come in at the ask, you'll get filled immediately and you'll be losing a shit pot of money. Don't do that. Okay? Unless you're like somebody in Raytheon, I want in immediately. Well, then do it if you got that kind of money. I don't. I walk it on up. So yeah, you're probably going to get filled somewhere in here. Where? I don't know. It's called a market. You might get filled at that. I'll get filled at this. This is what makes a market. Everybody makes sense. Let me scroll up here. If you're using E-Trade, it always doesn't show the correct amounts. Yeah. I mean, there's E-Trade isn't always solid. Need to be careful with the short call having a longer expiration than the long call. I would not do that. What do you mean, Rick? I don't know what that means. That means nothing to me. It's a bull call spread. That's the way they work. You have a long call at a lower strike and you have a short call at a higher strike. ChatGPT said there's no. Oh, okay. Thank you. SIBO tends to have the next longer. Whoever used ChatGPT, you're now my best friend. I was going to go to the SIBO site and go old school. Let me waste my time to go over to their calendar and go. There you go. For example, the 2030 cycle went live on. Okay. So if they follow the same. I like this. If they follow the same pattern, expect. I got it. Okay, cool. Late, it'll be the fall. Okay. Thank you for looking that up. Okay. Yeah, Mike, great point. You could always go do some lower strikes or, yeah, you can move all this stuff around. Catherine, I have no idea what's wrong. You're doing something wrong on your end. Pick up the phone and call the trade desk. You can call the trade desk and do whatever you want to do. Say, this is the trade I want to do, and they can help you. I can't help you because I don't see your screen. This is my screen, and this is how it's working out for me. I was thinking about a credit spread. So, Terry, I've looked at some bull put spreads underneath this. I think a week or two ago I did that. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Terry's saying, Wiz, you're bullish on the ceiling up here, the attic. You also don't think we're going to implode. I did cover this a couple weeks ago. I'll do it real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think the S&P is going to double in the next 5 years, you also think it's not going to what? Implode. What's it not going to implode through? Well, historically, Uncle Sam or Bill Ackman starts crying when the market's down 20, 25%. So maybe you go look at a bull put spread 20, and you can do bull put spreads kind of all along the way to help pay for this thing. This is what Warren Buffett does. He's a hypocrite. Nice guy, he seems, but he's also a hypocrite. Publicly, he's called derivatives weapons of financial mass destruction, and he trades the hell out of them. So Warren Buffett knows that Uncle Sam ain't going to let the market go down 30%. So he sells because he's got the cash secured. He's an insurance agent for Merica. He'll sell cash secured puts underneath the S&P 500 and bring in a shit pot of money. Yep. Does everybody get that? Yep. Yeah, Jay, you can get out earlier. I think I got messages from a couple people. They're like, dude, I already made 10 grand in my America trade and bailed. I took the 10. I might put another one on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Rick's right. You can get out. You can get out of any trade, folks. It's what the price is. So, um, but if we have a rip your face off second half of the year and you want to get out, whatever your profit looking at right now, like I guarantee you, the couple of people are like, I already bailed on mine. They didn't get that max profit because you're going to have to come in a little bit. You're not going to see the max that you're looking at on your screen. It'll be a little less. There you go, Celia. I love your mindset. Good for you. Celia is flying her airplane. She is a tick. Apparently, not a lot of people, or oh, you know what? It's 11:11. We're on the right path. Thank you, God. A lot of the new TGO members are probably asking all these questions, so I appreciate it. Who just? That's a question over here. Sorry, I didn't answer this earlier. You're over in the QA. Simon, the sniper shot just blew out. Time to bail. Nope. I'm not bailing. Yeah, how many times? Look at the S&P 500. Day ain't over yet. You probably, I forget the time you posted that. Yeah, it did blow out. And now I've seen days like this where we might even get back up to 6,300 or we might go down to 6,250. This is why with my sniper trades, sometimes I am what? Set it and forget it. So I'm not, if anything, you could have done a repair trade down here at 50.45. Okay. But that is a strong bounce. These are magnets, folks. 6,300, 6,275, 6,250. We're either going to get pulled down to 6,250 the rest of the day or back up to 6,275. My strike is at 6,270, 6,265. So I am rated. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Okay. So yeah, I'm not touching it. There you go, Valerie. Awesome. That is great. That's awesome. Valerie got two at 1950 each. Yeah, do me a favor. Just go watch this. It's 18 minutes. The America trade, six-figure potential from today's pull. But look at that. This was, man, I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence, folks. This cracks me up. I remember this day. This was like I think this was close to the bottom. Yeah, it was right in here, man. Right in there on this pullback right here. I'm like, because we had this implosion and this V, and then down here, I'm like, now we're ripping. And we did. I do this for a living, folks. I actually do this for fun. So let me talk real quick, if you want to stay a couple minutes, about, because I just saw this red candle here. You could leg. Let me do that. Let me talk about legging into an iron butterfly, maybe. Wiz, I don't know if it's going to happen. Do a tight iron condor or a iron butterfly. What do I mean? I'm currently filled right here on the 62, 65, 62, 70 bull put spread. If I think we're going to pin around that 75, I could do a bear call spread right now and leg either into a super tight iron condor, like the 62, 75, 62, 80, or this would make it an iron butterfly at 70. Okay. Does everybody understand that? So let me fire this and show you something. This is how I dogfight S&P. I'm going to do this live. I'm going to do it at the, or wait, no, it's a tight iron condor. It's the, or no, it's right. It's an iron butterfly now. Now let's go look. I love this. Thank you for asking that question. I'm going to show you. Where'd the iron butterfly go? Right here. What's an iron butterfly? I got to expose that. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me start with this. So, the 15 contracts I initially had in the bull put spread, the max potential loss was about 5 grand. Okay. There's two schools of thought: set it and forget it and see if we are going to rip back, like I think we might, or to reduce your max potential loss by 50%. So with this iron butterfly, my max potential loss is $2,900. Okay. This is called an iron butterfly, meaning where would you make the max profit? If we close, look at right here. And if you're lost, don't worry about it. This is advanced. Both the short call and the short put are at the same strike. Where would I make the max profit? If the market closes right at 62.70. Okay. That would absolutely be perfection. But as the rest of the day goes on, let me bring the chart up in the background. And again, if your eyes glaze over, this is me dogfighting. This is how I do it. Right? So implosion, bounce, implosion, and we rolled over here. Okay. So if we do get back up towards about 62.70-ish, this trade will start showing some profit, or maybe not profit, but a hell of a lot loss than I would have incurred with just the bull put spread here, potentially. Okay. This is a way more in-depth conversation than what I'm giving it, but this is technically dogfighting. Okay. I don't even want to ask if there's any questions because there's probably a ton, but just look at the picture. Where the dotted line is the S&P 500 right now. If we pinned, I've actually done this in my life. I'm not going to lie. Less than one hand I can count in 30 plus years of doing this, of it pinning even within $1 of the, but it's still a lot of profit. I've turned a potential 100% losing trade or whatever into a little bit of a profit or some profit. I think maybe once in my career I pinned, right around the strike, maybe a couple pennies off, maybe once. But you're not in it for the iron butterfly. You're in it to kind of dogfight the spreads. Okay. But if we, spend, and remember, every second that's going by, what am I getting? Theta, time decay. But if we, for some reason, as the day goes on, we go up here, and if we do what we've done on a couple of these days, which is like hover around a 25 strike, theta, this trade, which could have been a loser, turns into a profit or less of a loss. Does that make sense? And, if you have super questions, you got to hit your manual. It's in the advanced manual. I forget what chapter, straddles, iron butterfly. I could have done, this will probably make a little bit more sense to you. What was the bull put spread? The 70.65. If you did think it was going to pin around that 25 strike to 75 up here, you could have done a 75.80 bear call spread, and you would have had a $5 wide iron condor. I've done that a lot too, dog fighting, and that actually ends up being, I've made some good money on that. So again, I did an iron butterfly to turn a potential max loss, day ain't over yet, into either a less of a max loss or potentially some profit. Now, if you're sitting here going, for the love of God, that's a lot, don't do it, right? I brief all the time that the S&P 500 sniper shots are not for the faint of heart. And you should be trading with an amount where you go, that's going to suck if that happens, but it's not going to blow me out. If you're worried about a trade, you are trading too large. Does everybody understand that? And when you start doing your snipers for real, should be one contract, man, and just kind of baby step into it. That's exactly what Eli did. I love that. Good for you, my brother. Did the 75.80 for the same credit as the bull put spread. He's got a tight iron condor on. Boom. He did. I did the iron butterfly to show it as a demo. He did the iron, and look at this. I think, just doing this for a long time, 75 might be the Mason-Dixon line for the day. Okay, so it gets up here, folks. Remember, with an iron butterfly, any sort of credit spread, you're getting theta, theta, theta. You're getting time decay. Okay, so good stuff. Didn't expect to be talking about that, but and remember, guys and gals, you don't have to do any of that. Wiz, I set it and forget it, and with my luck, it's gonna do that. This can happen, folks. So I'm gonna keep. You can either trade it as an iron butterfly, or you can break it up into the individual spreads and then do something like that. Like I could ungroup it and trade it as the two individual spreads. I've got to just clear this account out. These phantom strikes are stupid. All right. Any other questions, concerns? Oh, by the way, hit me up in the Ready Room if you have questions about that, since I went long. But remember, good week next week. Don't forget, if you're a female or you know a female who's interested in potentially doing a nice wellness retreat down here in South Florida, let me know. Shoot me an email, wiz@nofallenheroes. It's a beautiful retreat center. Like I said, big pool, beautiful rooms, fire pit out in nature. That's what the barn looks like for the yoga, the sacraments. It's just the food. We got a chef. This is where we're going to be doing ibogaine someday, folks. I'm absolutely thrilled. We need to be healing people in the United States. We are. I'm heading up to Oregon shortly with Daniel, with some professional athletes and some of our heroes too. I'm really, really excited. Exactly, Rick. When in doubt, add 5. If I haven't said that in a while, ladies and gentlemen, and you're new to firing snipers, I always tell. I don't always tell. I should tell more people. Add 5. Add $5 to what I'm doing. I'm usually surgical with these things. Don't just sit on the dock with your mouth open expecting me to throw fish at it. Stay $5 away from me, and as you see that I'm kind of really damn good at this, maybe come into what I'm doing. So, okay. Debbie, I got to be honest, man. I'm not a true social person. I got 90,000 social media accounts I got to manage as it is, and my social media team's like, please don't. And I know that there's at least 10 people on True Social using my pictures anyway. So I think my name's already taken on True Social, which infuriates me. Some old lady wrote me, you're scamming money on True Social from me. I'm like, okay, lady, what part of beware of scammer? I have like 100 people reaching out to me with, hey, there's a Matthew and a this Buckley and that. Oh yeah. Aren't these your, yeah, that's me in front of my L39, and I have a cat as my profile picture. And I live in, look at this idiot. I live in Shiraz, Iran. What's the next one? Oh, I'm in Baghdad. Oh, these people are disgusting. Look at this. So I can't. I'm not. My name's McCathy Brighton on True Social, by the way. It's just, and I've already gotten a heads up that somebody's using AI. They can take 5 minutes of video of me and 5 minutes of my voice, and now I'm scamming people around the world for that. Okay, and look at the S&P 500. What did I tell you? This is why right back up to my strike, 62.70. I told you I do this for a living. We're probably going back up to 75. So now I got to manage that iron butterfly. Usually, I would have sat on my hands. I would not have done anything, but Simon asked, should we bail? So I should have, Simon, told you my immediate answer. No. Set it and forget it, man. Go for a walk. But now I'm in an iron butterfly I got to manage. But I'm glad we did I haven't done an iron butterfly lecture in a long time. Does everybody see? And it's rated right at my strike, 70. It's gonna hang here. So, all right, guys, I gotta go. I went way too long. Make sure you share this link with your family and friends. to let them join us next week. Put the ladder down, man. Go, post this on social media. How are you making so much money? Don't hide your rice bowl, man. Share it with everybody. Yeah, Shiraz. Yeah, it is. It is a wine. So I am. I'm the crazy cat lady. I love it. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing the healing word of our mission. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll send out an email right now and then get the replay posted here shortly. I'll see you tomorrow for AR, Accelerated Retirement. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on. Namaste and Basi Basi. Whiz out. See ya.